Hello, Elizabeth here, and I'm here today to share a little bit about my three core values. And these are the values that have really become a foundation for my own life. They have become a foundation of my work. And today I'm going to share a tidbit about all three and then give just a little way that you can take it in and edit it for yourself. We're at the beginning of a new year, and so it's cool to kind of take in these concepts and then edit them for yourselves and live into them. So the first value is life gets better and better. And this value I founded when I was in my early 20s, and I did not believe that life got better and better. And for me, it felt like life was getting harder and harder. I was 22 and life was getting harder and harder, and I was getting more and more tired, and it was difficult, and it was all of this mindset that I had chosen to accept and believe that this was this uphill battle. Life was this uphill battle. And I remember being in a really difficult time and thinking, what would I need to believe to want to get out of bed in the morning? Really, like, what would I need to believe to be true to be more inspired to actually enjoy this life and get a lot out of this life? And I remember thinking, well, wouldn't it be cool if life got better and better instead of harder and harder? And hilariously enough, since now I truly deeply within myself believe that, I've chosen to believe that, and have seen it over and over again. But I remember when I first said, okay, I'm going to try this on, and I did not believe it at all. I thought I was giving myself a total line, and I was. And yet what happened is I said, okay, I'm going to try this on for a year, and I'm just going to keep telling myself and believing that life does get better and better, even when the hardest times are happening, the darkest, the most doubtful. If I come back and say, okay, but I believe that life gets better and better, and so I must be circling back around to the better, always circling back around to the better as I'm learning and growing. And so for me, the life gets better and better. It's different every year, every month. What is better and better changes. And so for this year, better and better for me would be more serenity, and it would be more glee or wonder. I'm not even feeling like full on joy for me this year, but like glee and wonder and playing with that. And so that is something I want to come back to, and I want to cultivate, and I want to focus on. And so if you have a little notebook, or you can do this in your mind or on your phone, I just want you to write out, if life gets better and better, that means this year that life gets dash dash, more and more this, more and more that. So what is your better and better? Life gets more serene, more full of glee and wonder. And so that's my better and better. So that's the first one. Life gets better and better. And a really deep grounding in, I'm choosing to believe this kind of way. It takes courage, it takes faith, it takes commitment. And it's really cool to see what happens when we give that attention and focus, and we focus our intentions upon that. So the second thing is you get to do it your way. And this is partially because I'm incredibly stubborn and want things to feel good. All the time I'm really stubborn about that. And it also is, I have found in my life that there are times when I am wanting a move, or I'm wanting to start my own business, or I'm wanting to fall in love. And I've been told, or I've seen, whether in movies or books or in my own life, that the road there is so hard, or the road there is so exhausting, or is scary, or is terrifying. And so what I realized a long time ago about myself is that if I was actually going to embark on new journeys and try new things, that I had to give myself permission to do them in my own way, which meant my own pace, my own feeling. Like, a journey's got to feel good. If it doesn't feel good, then I'm going to find a way to make it feel good, or I'm going to be creative about allowing it to feel good. So for so many of the people I work with, they come to me and they are ready to make a transition in their work, a transition in their money, a transition in their love, a transition in their health. And they go, I want this, but gosh, it looks really hard. That path, I've seen other people do it, and I don't know if I can do it, and I don't know if I want to do it. And so for me, I go, well, what about this path, or this path, or this path, or that? The path, we create the path as we go in a way that the path can feel really good if you're doing it your own way. And so I want to, again, just take your notebook, take a moment. You get to do it your way. What does your way need to feel like, or what do you want it to feel like this year? So if you're going about taking better care of yourself, if you're going about welcoming more abundance and money, if you're going about growing in the way you're serving in the world, if you're growing in your being in activism, your way, how do you want your way to feel? How do you want your way to feel? And for me, I want it to feel like I can go my own pace. I can go my own rhythm. I can go slow as I want, and I can go as fast as I want, and slow as I want, and as fast as I want. So all of the changes that are calling, the things that are calling next, the adventures that are calling, what would it look like if you didn't do it other people's ways, but you did it your way? What would it look like if you did it your way? I'd love to hear about your way. And the third one, the grand enchilada of them all, my favorite. This is my favorite value and my favorite belief, and my favorite thing to come back to is that co-creation makes it easier. And this is of the idea that we are not creating this life experience just within our mind. We're not just like, I'm going to do this. It's not just within our mind and intellect that we're creating this life experience. And also we're not under this, in my belief, fate where everything is lined up for us and we just have to follow along. I believe that we are in a dialogue, we are in a back and forth with something greater than us. And so again, for me, that's spirit, that's universe, and I have many different names for it depending on the day. For others, it may be that deeper intuition, that gut feeling. It could be your soul. Everyone has a different name. The names change. The relationship changes all the time. But for today, this idea is that co-creation makes it easier. That there is something outside of you, within you, could be that trees even, that is all supportive, all loving, totally got your back, and is also really creative in possibilities of what your life could look like in ways that your mind may not see, or your mind may not be able to figure out, or you may be destined to live something that is different than anything you've ever seen in someone else's life. So how could your mind know where to take you? That's where we welcome in inspiration, we welcome in wisdom, we welcome in that guiding voice from deep within, from outside of us. So co-creation makes it easier. The thing that I want you just to play with today, or to write out, first of all, if you have a name for what you're co-creating or who you're co-creating with, you can absolutely write it down. If I ask that question, you go, ooh, the name or the idea, maybe you haven't found yours yet, you know what I mean? Or again, it may not have a name, or it may look different than even what I'm describing. It gets to be your own. It gets, your relationship with the divine or greater or your intuition is so your own and deserves your own language and your own experiences and your own practices. So again, this is something, it's kind of like you're in a relationship, you're dating, you got your own thing going on with spirit, and again, you get to continue to create that and evolve that, and you'll know what feels good and what doesn't just by how you feel. And so you can write down a name or not with who or what is supporting you, who you're in this grand dialogue play with. And then the one thing I want you to write down today is if you could ask for support from whatever you're co-creating with, if you could ask for support in any area of your life or with anything, or to feel a certain way, to let something go, to welcome something in. It could be just welcoming support in believing that life gets better and better, welcoming support in taking care of yourself, welcoming support in feeling peacefully surprised, welcoming support in being inspired to be part of the political conversation as our world and our government continues to change. And so what would you like to ask spirit, your intuition, that beautiful support that is within you or outside of you that is just different than your mind? What would you like support with? And I want you to just write that down. Be as vague or as specific as you want to be. It will feel good when you hit it if you're like, oh yeah, I just need to be a little bit more vague, a little bit more specific. But co-creation makes it easier. You are not doing it alone. It is not between you and your intellect and your ego to create this whole life experience. And you get to be a part of this. You get to co-create. So what do you want to ask for support with? So those are the three, my dears. Those are the things that I come back to. Life gets better and better. You get to do it your way, and co-creation makes it easier. So I encourage you to take all three if you choose, or if one is calling for you, I would take that one, write it down, shoot me a little note, post, let me know about it, or write yourself a little note and take that into the new year. And as always, kind of run it through yourself, edit it for yourself, see what feels good to you. And I look forward to practicing all of these with you in this new year. So I'm sending a lot of love, and it's really good to be with you today, and I'll talk with you soon.